Hello and welcome to the sewing guide for the Eden After Dark collection. This video is meant to briefly walk through all of the styles and show you what variations we might have used, walk through the construction. We use Pico elastic here versus photo elastic here, because a lot of times when you get your kits, it might be a month, 2 months, maybe even a year until you actually sew it, and by that time the product listing is down and you might go back and think, oh my god, what variation did she use? What is our tutorial on it? So this video you can reference no matter when you make your DIY kits. Now I want to call out that this is definitely not a sew along. It just kind of briefly walks through all of the styles. But if you have any questions, feel free to email hello@madalynne.com, or you can put your comments or questions in the comment box below. So let's start off with the star of the collection, which was definitely this copper style, which is the right underwire bra and Godiva frame, and here it is just the right underwire bra. Now this DIY kit could have made both of these styles. So a lot of times we'll do the DIY kits, it'll just be a general DIY bra and panty kit. We will make it up in a certain style and say this is how we made it, but depending on what pattern you're using, you could use it for a different bra maker's pattern. So this is the right underwire bra from my book, Sew Lingerie. No alterations except for we used fold over elastic along the armhole edges instead of the Pico elastic. But your kits do come with Pico elastic if you want to use Pico elastic. We did unlined cups, so we just did this scalloped lace, this embroidered tulle scalloped lace. We did the mesh, open mesh in copper, and then lined it with the satin. And then for the back band, we just did a single layer of the open mesh. Now this one is a variation of the right underwire bra and Godiva bodysuit. One thing to know about the right underwire bra and the Godiva bodysuit, both come from my book, Sew Lingerie, but the cups of the right underwire bra and the Godiva bodysuit, exactly the same. The frame of the Godiva bodysuit is just an extended version of the right underwire bra. That was my intention, to show that you can easily transform your underwire bras into a bodysuit. Now this faux hook and eye closure, there is an entire blog post that walks through all of the changes and the construction on that. So I won't go into that in this video, but I will link to it below so you can see all of the steps to do this awesome variation. And it is definitely a faux, so it is non-functional. It is just for decoration. In the Godiva bodysuit, it is backless, but in the first session of the Godiva bodysuit sew along, I go over how to draft the back band for the Godiva. The back band is just a single layer of the open mesh. The side frame of the frame is the satin lined with sheer cup lining. This is the open mesh lined with sheer cup lining, and then the bra cups we actually did different than the ray, and that it's not sheer, it's a layer of the embroidered tulle lace, layer of the satin, as well as a layer of the sheer cup lining. So there are 3 layers in the bra cups. The top cup is just a single layer of the embroidered tulle lace. So the panties to go along with those styles are the Noel panty as well as the Tanika thong panty, but you could also use the Millie from my book, Sew Lingerie. So the Noel free PDF pattern on Madalynne.com, single layer of the open mesh for both the front and the back. So we just sliced that pattern at the top and inserted a panel of the embroidered tulle lace. And the only reason why we didn't do a scalloped edge at the bottom was because at the time we were making the sample, we only had a certain amount, and we didn't have any with a scalloped edge because we used it to cut out the top cup of the bra. So that is literally all we had. But you could do a scalloped edge like we did on the thong. We did the same thing. We chopped the pattern, placed the scalloped lace. We actually placed it going down, but you could place it going up. That's the beauty of Me Made Lingerie, is that you get to decide. The leg openings are finished with narrow fold over elastic. The waist openings are finished with wider fold over elastic. So the next style in this collection is this gorgeous chartreuse. I will say about this collection, it was definitely not a cohesive collection, but it was all of my favorite fall colors, which I guess made it cohesive, but it wasn't a single pattern or a single color. We had all the fall colors. Now this is the right underwire bra, but this lace does not have a scalloped edge. So what we did is, there's no bottom band on this. So we did have to adjust the hook and eye closure on the back, increase the height of the back band at the center back to accommodate for that hook and eye. Now for this, we sewed the bra cups, and then we finished the top edge with photo elastic in one swoop. It was a lot easier than finishing the cups with the photo elastic than adding the channeling. It would get really bulky right here. So this was a very non-bulky way to finish the top edge of the bra. So what we did is we sewed the cups, sewed the underwire, then finished the top edge of the bra cups because the lace does not have a scalloped edge, which the right underwire bra was drafted for. This is the Tanika thong, just wide photo elastic along the waist opening, narrow photo elastic along the leg opening, and then these really cute little bows to go with it. Okay, next in the collection is the Godiva bodysuit. So biggest thing that I want to call out with this is that we really, when we got it in this fabric, we were intending to use the copper elastics with it, but when we got it, we're like, oh, we don't really, I think it's too dark, so we went with sage. However, normally we finish the armholes and the leg openings with fold over, but we did not have fold over elastic in sage. So your kits come with picot elastic versus fold over elastic. So the instructions for the Godiva have fold over elastic, but we are using picot elastic. The other alteration is that we actually use the Noel panty, which is again a free panty pattern on Madalynne.com for the bottom portion. I like this because most of our followers like a full brief or a full butt versus a thong, and the Godiva bodysuit is a thong bodysuit. So really easy is we just kind of created those panels, lace panels, cut out the entire front, the back, and then just place that lace over to get that angled look. But other than that, this is basically the Godiva bodysuit. Again, we didn't follow the lace placement from the Godiva bodysuit in the book. We just cut everything out and then looked at it and was like, where do we want the lace to be angled? And we actually really liked it this way. I think in the book it's this way and then this way, but we placed the lace placement this way. And then the back, again, we drafted a back band for the Godiva bodysuit, but that is in part one of the Godiva bodysuit sew along. The next style included in the collection is the Leora bra pattern, which is not a Madalynne pattern, but we did a really cool collab with Lilliput Designs. And I just like collaborating with other bra makers to show that, you know, even though that we are quote unquote competitors, which I don't think of us that way, there's always space for all of us in the bra making community. And I wanted to highlight another bra maker and her new bra pattern that she just released. Biggest thing to call out with this is that the Leora bra pattern was drafted for a stretch top cup. This is a non-stretch, so you might have to adjust the sizing depending on what size you measure or what size you made previously in the Leora bra pattern. If you have never made the Leora bra pattern, we made it based off of our model's measurements and we didn't have to make any adjustments, so just food for thought. Next up in the collection is the Penelope teddy as well as panty. No alterations here. I would just make a note that the V-wire that we included in the kits was a little bit bigger than the V-wire that's recommended for the Penelope teddy. So you might have to adjust the V-wire opening to fit the V-wire that comes with your kits, but that's it. Really easy, just straight out of the pattern. No big alterations for this one. Now the last two styles that were included in the collection were the 3162 dress as well as the 9974 corset top, as well as the mashup between the 3118. Now the 3162 I am not going to go over because there is a class on that, so I really highly recommend you check that out if you want more information on that. And the 9774 and the 3118 mashup, I'm going to link to the previous collection sewing guide because I go over the alterations for that.